Accusations of blackmail, a bitter cheating scandal, and a front-page expose might not seem like the best foundation for a long-lasting romance. In fact, many couples therapists might argue that there could be no shakier ground on which to embark upon a relationship. But, as so often happens, it seems that normal rules do not apply when the world's wealthiest are involved, at least not in the case of Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos, who has a net worth of $139.2 billion, and his new fiancée Lauren Sanchez. The pair, who began their relationship in a blaze of scandal, appear to have defied all romantic conventions and proven that love really can conquer all, even the most sordid of controversies. Just 4 years after their affair was revealed to the world, news that ultimately led to the end of their respective marriages, Jeff, 59, popped the question to his 53-year-old former news anchor girlfriend with an enormous diamond that's estimated to be worth at least $2 million, while aboard his $500 million super yacht. It was recently revealed that Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez are gearing up to tie the knot, 4 years after their controversial affair was exposed through a bombshell report by the Inquirer from their headline-making affair, which reportedly began after Lauren's husband introduced them to what it's really like being in a relationship with one of the richest men in the world. Here's an intimate look into the billionaire Amazon founder and the journalist's relationship timeline. From their headline-making affair, which reportedly began after Lauren's husband introduced them to what it's really like being in a relationship with one of the richest men in the world, here's an intimate look into the billionaire Amazon founder and the journalist's relationship timeline. The news of their engagement was splashed across the world's most prominent media publications, much like the scandal over their affair had been after it was first revealed by the National Enquirer back in 2019. At the time, the publication laid bare several intimate details about the couple's undercover romance, reporting that Jeff had been whisking his mistress away on exotic trips and embarking on secret rendezvous, all while he kept up the facade as the perfect family man and husband to his then-wife of 25 years, Mackenzie Scott. Soon after, Jeff and Lauren both split from their respective partners and set sail on a lavish and very public romance in front of the cameras that has seen them flaunting their love across the globe, whether it's on a mega-yacht in Europe or on a dinner date with Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. Over the course of their 4-year relationship, Lauren has certainly enjoyed a slew of glamorous perks. Not only are the pair often seen enjoying exquisite yacht trips, 5-star resorts, private jet rides, and beachside vacations, but they're also always pictured dining at the most sought-after restaurants, leaving elite parties, and mingling with some Jeff's celebrity friends. As the couple prepares to become husband and wife, a source went ahead and recapped their relationship from start to finish, and lifted a lid on their very luxurious lifestyle. From their headline-making affair, which reportedly began after Lauren's husband introduced them to what it's really like being in a relationship with one of the richest men in the world, here's an intimate look into Jeff and Lauren's relationship timeline. The whirlwind affair that started it all, the beginning of Jeff and Lauren's romance, was shrouded in accusations of blackmail, a whirlwind cheating scandal, and fury over leaked intimate pictures. Lauren and Jeff's romance was first exposed by the National Enquirer in January 2019, while he was married to Mackenzie Scott and she was married to Patrick Whitesell. While it's unclear when exactly they started dating, Lauren and Jeff's romance was first exposed by the National Enquirer in January 2019, while they were both married to their now exes. Soon after it came to light, the billionaire businessman divorced his wife of over 25 years and the mother of his 4 children, Mackenzie Scott, while Lauren left her husband, co-CEO of Hollywood powerhouse agency WME, Patrick Whitesell. At the time, the bombshell report from the Inquirer claimed that Lauren and Jeff had been involved in an 8-month affair, which involved him whisking his mistress off to exotic destinations on his $65 million private jet, sending her raunchy messages and erotic selfies, and having secret rendezvous at palatial private estates. The outlet said that it had tracked them across 5 states and 40,000 miles, tailing them in private jets, swanky limos, helicopter rides, romantic hikes, 5-star hotel hideaways, intimate dinner dates, and quality time in hidden love nests. Following the Inquirer's accusations, Jeff fired back by writing a lengthy essay to the publication's CEO, David Pecker, in which the mogul accused the company of blackmailing him. After intimate text messages from me were published in the National Enquirer, I engaged investigators to learn how those texts were obtained, and to determine the motives for the many unusual actions taken by the Inquirer. Jeff wrote, Rather than capitulate to extortion and blackmail, I've published exactly what they sent me. Despite the personal embarrassment they threaten. As for how Jeff and Lauren met, it was said that it was Lauren's husband Patrick introduced the two at an Amazon Studios party for the movie Manchester by the Sea in 2016. We were then approached with an offer. They said they had more of my text messages and photos that they would publish if we didn't stop our investigation. He shared alleged emails sent to him by Inquirer staffers, in which they described the racy images they had obtained during their news gathering in detail. If in my position I can't stand up to this kind of extortion, how many people can? Jeff continued. Of course I don't want personal photos published, but I also won't participate in their well-known practice of blackmail, political favors, political attacks, and corruption. I prefer to stand up, roll this log over, and see what crawls out. As for how Jeff and Lauren met, it was said that it was Lauren's husband Patrick who was the first to introduce the two at an Amazon Studios party for the movie Manchester by the Sea in 2016. Her production team was then hired to film footage for Jeff's rocket company, Blue Origin, in 2018. Patrick and Lauren have socialized with Jeff Bezos and his wife for a few years, because both, now former, couples have houses in Seattle. Then Lauren was hired to work on one of Jeff's projects, Blue Origin, a space launch company. She has been shooting aerial shots for Jeff. Lauren previously revealed to Wall Street Journal that her and Jeff connected over their shared love of flying. She got her helicopter pilot's license in 2016, and once called being in the air her calling, while Jeff is in the process of getting his own pilot's license. Unshakable, despite the rocky start, Jeff and Lauren began flaunting their love soon after their affair was exposed, jetting all over the globe on lavish getaways and attending A-list events side by side. They were seen for the first time together publicly in May 2019 during a date night in New York City, and they made their first official appearance as a couple at Wimbledon that July. The couple then enjoyed a slew of lavish getaways together, heading to Saint-Tropez in France and St. Bart's. They also spent time on Diane von Furstenberg's yacht in Italy. Despite the start of their romance being shrouded in accusations of blackmail and extortion, cheating allegations, and leaked intimate pictures, the couple did not let it defer them. Lauren was by Jeff's side during his work trips too. She was at an Amazon event in Mumbai, India, in January 2020, and was with Jeff when he met the French president weeks later. In fact, soon after splitting from their respective partners, Jeff and Lauren didn't wait long to start flaunting their love all over the globe. They were seen for the first time together publicly in May 2019, when photographers caught them enjoying a romantic date night in New York City, and they made their first official appearance as a couple at Wimbledon that July. In the months that followed, the couple enjoyed a slew of lavish getaways together, heading to popular celebrity hotspot Saint-Tropez in France, enjoying some time on fashion designer Diane von Furstenberg's yacht in Italy, and vacationing on the glamorous Caribbean island St. Bart's. It was also reported in December 2019 that Jeff threw a huge birthday celebration for his girlfriend at his sprawling Beverly Hills mansion, which was attended by tons of stars like Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom, Scooter Braun, and Timothée Chalamet. Lauren was by Jeff's side during his work trips too. She was present at an Amazon Prime Video event with him in Mumbai, India, in January 2020, and was with him when he met the French president a few weeks later in Paris. A few weeks later, news hit the web that Jeff had bought a new home in Beverly Hills for $165 million, which they seemingly moved into together. Lauren's brother, Michael Sanchez, filed a defamation lawsuit against the Amazon founder in February 2020. Reports had claimed that Michael was the one to leak the racy photos of Jeff to the Inquirer, but he insisted in the suit that it wasn't true. Around that time, the couple was seen house hunting together around Los Angeles. And a few weeks later, news hit the web that Jeff had bought a new home in Beverly Hills for $165 million, which they seemingly moved into together. The 13,600 square foot mansion sits on 9.4 acres of land and comes complete with a tennis court, swimming pool, 9-hole golf course, and motor court, which boasts its own service garage and gas pumps. While it seemed as though everything was going great for the new couple, the drama between Jeff and the Inquirer surrounding the start of romance with Lauren had yet to cease. In fact, it resulted in a major war between Jeff and Lauren's brother, Michael Sanchez, who filed a defamation lawsuit against the Amazon founder in February 2020. Reports had claimed that Michael was the one to leak the racy photos of Jeff to the Inquirer, but he insisted in the suit that he never had access to any of Jeff's private pictures. The lawsuit was ultimately thrown out due to lack of evidence, and Michael was later ordered to pay Jeff $218,000 in legal fees. Luxurious lifestyle. Since she started dating one of the richest men in the world, Lauren has enjoyed a slew of perks, from dining in top restaurants to toting around handbags worth thousands of dollars. Despite the tension brewing between Lauren's family and Jeff, the couple continued to prove they were unshakable. In addition to their California mansion, the couple bought another home together in October 2021, this time in Maui, Hawaii, for $78 million. The 4,500 square foot home sits on 4 acres and has a 700 square foot swimming pools. While the pair continued to embark on a series of glamorous vacations and was often seen attending star-studded galas and dazzling events, Lauren insisted to the Wall Street Journal earlier this year that they live a pretty normal lifestyle most of the time. She was asked what a typical Saturday looked like for her and the billionaire, and her answer was pretty relatable. "On a typical Saturday, we hang out, we have dinner with the kids, which is always fun because you never know where the conversation is going to go with this many kids," she told the outlet. She also dished on blending their two families. Lauren welcomed a son, named Nico, 22, with her ex-boyfriend, footballer Tony Gonzalez, in 2001. She also shares 15-year-old daughter Eleanor Whitesell and 16-year-old son Evan Whitesell with her ex-husband, Patrick. As for Jeff, he and his ex-wife, Mackenzie, welcomed 3 sons and adopted 1 daughter together during their 25-year marriage. Lauren welcomed a son, named Nico, 22, with her ex-boyfriend, footballer Tony Gonzalez, in 2001. She also shares 15-year-old daughter Eleanor Whitesell and 16-year-old son Evan Whitesell with her ex-husband, Patrick. She and Patrick are seen with her kids in 2014. His kids all live relatively private lives out of the spotlight, and aside from one of his sons, who is named Preston, he has never even shared their names with the public. While chatting with Wall Street Journal, Lauren dished on co-parenting with her exes, specifically Tony, whom she branded as her best friend. "It wasn't always that way. There was friction at the beginning. But Tony and his wife October Toby Gonzalez were at Thanksgiving with us this year, and we're really good friends," she explained. "That took about 5 years, but we always communicated. I'm not saying that being best friends with your ex is the end-all be-all, but you do need to be able to communicate. I'm so proud of it. My son looks at me, and he's like, I'm the luckiest boy in the world because I can have Thanksgiving with both my parents, and they don't have to be married." She did not touch on her relationship with Patrick. It was also revealed earlier this year that Jeff had splashed out $500 million on a super yacht, which is where he got down on his knee and asked Lauren to marry him. The boat, which stretches across 416 feet and comes with its own helipad, has a figurehead that bears a striking resemblance to Lauren on the front of it. Jeff and Lauren have even started working together. She became the vice chair of the Bezos Earth Fund, an organization dedicated to fighting climate change and protecting nature. She is in the midst of planning an all-female mission to outer space on Jeff's company Blue Origin for early 2024. It was also revealed earlier this year that Jeff had splashed out $500 million on a super yacht, which is where he reportedly got down on his knee and asked Lauren to marry him. The boat, which stretches across 416 feet and comes with its own helipad, has a figurehead that bears a striking resemblance to Lauren on the front of it. The polished wooden sculpture sits on the prow, and it depicts a curvaceous woman carved in the style of a Roman goddess, dressed in a flowing gown and with long hair, and a face that looks just like Jeff's fiancée. It comes as no surprise that Jeff spent a lot of money on Lauren's engagement ring. Mike Fried, CEO of the Diamond Pro, estimated that the rock is likely worth $2 million. He told a source exclusively, "A ring of this caliber is no small feat or expense." Based on the photos, the ring appears to accentuate the colossal center stone with a thin band and fine detailing. Lauren's gargantuan diamond appears to be between 15 and 20 carats. I'd estimate the value at a whopping $2 million, if not more. To find a natural diamond in that carat weight is exceptionally rare. It was likely months of preparation to make this ring a reality.